Good morning and a very warm welcome to Bethersden Primary School's Excellence Assembly on Wednesday the 20th of May. Thank you for gathering with us this morning to celebrate the excellence of our children over the past week, sharing in the learning that's taken place with the home learning tasks, but also some very special achievements over the course of this term. We've got our Wow of the Week winners, we've had some birthdays to celebrate. We'd also like to share with you our termly data from TT Rockstars and Spelling Sheds, and we have a very special performance from one of our children coming up a little bit later on. So make yourselves comfortable as we prepare for today's Excellence Assembly. Our first award of the week goes to Maya. Maya, every day you amaze your team in Bumblebee class with your incredible work and determination to strive for excellence in every activity that you do. Your team of Mrs Osborne, Mrs Grace, Miss Hoogan and Miss Finn would like to say thank you for working so hard each and every day. Here's an example of Maya working hard on some of her learning this week. Our second award of the week in Bumblebee class is for Annabelle. Annabelle, your team are incredibly proud of you as you've shown enthusiasm and dedication to your home learning each and every day. The work you have been producing has been remarkable, especially the piece of writing that we're about to share with you. Well done from Mrs Osborne, Mrs Grace, Miss Hoogan and Miss Finn. Here you can see some beautiful writing that Annabelle's completed with the stimulus of the Finding Nemo film. Our first award in our class this week is for Charlie. Charlie, Miss Hughes and Mrs Taylor have been very impressed with you this week. It's been lovely to see you enjoying your learning over the past week, Charlie, thriving in your tasks that you've been set. They've seen some wonderful writing from you, using the spelling, punctuation and grammar learning on suffixes to support your learning. It's also been fantastic to see you regularly updating your blog, packed full of fun activities. Thank you for sharing these with us, Charlie, and keep up the great work. That's from Miss Hughes and Mrs Taylor. Here's a couple of examples of Charlie's writing over the past 7 days. I'd really encourage you to pause the video and take some time to read his contributions there. Also, Charlie, it looks like you're having a lot of fun with an art and craft activity there. Well done, keep updating your blog and keep letting us know what you've been up to. The second award this week in our class is for Harrison, and this is a very special award, Harrison. Every term, Miss Hughes likes to award an end of term excellence award as well as a weekly one. Each and every week this term you have completed your set learning tasks to the highest of standards, from beautifully presented writing, wonderfully laid out maths calculations and phenomenal topic activities. Your work never fails to amaze us, Harrison. During our time with home learning, you really have set the bar to the absolute highest standard, not only for your class peers but also to other people in the school who regularly enjoy seeing your learning on our assemblies and our Twitter pages. You should be so incredibly proud of what you've achieved so far, as Miss Hughes and Mrs Taylor certainly are. Here are just a couple of examples of the excellence that Harrison has been demonstrating. I really do encourage you to pause the video now and take some time to read some of Harrison's work on suffixes and also some of his research into artists. Moving into Dear Class, our first award for this week is for Imogen. Imogen, your resilience when completing last week's math task was amazing. You persevered even when you were finding it challenging and end up mastering not only rounding but also estimation. Also enjoying your times tables practice at the same time. Miss Bennett and Miss Simpson were really impressed this week, so keep up the good work, Imogen. It's lovely to see you still maintain that beautiful positivity and that great smile even during this time away from us, and we look forward to seeing you back soon. Our second award of the week in Dear Class goes to Connor for the positive attitude you showed towards last week's home learning. You completed your maths task to a high standard, showing your competence with mental calculations, and you also used the internet to research answers to interesting questions. Keep it up, Connor, you've certainly impressed us this week. And that comes from Miss Bennett and Miss Simpson. Moving into Otter class now, Caleb, you have taken on the challenge of working from home and you have owned it. When we look through the work you've been handed in, your section is filled with green on Google Classroom. You've taken on every challenge and have produced some lovely learning. Your team were particularly impressed with your latest piece of creative writing, and not only do you use speech marks correctly, but you also used adjectives, powerful verbs and punctuation to build your story. A huge well done. We've also really liked your time challenges. It looks like you've had fun. On top of all this, you've been using our online platform to the fullest, particularly Spelling Shed. Well done, Caleb. Mrs Green, Mrs Moss and Nick Mester are incredibly proud of you. On this page here are a couple of examples of Caleb's work, some writing there, and also his 7-minute challenge to do 100 trampoline bottom bounces in 7 minutes. Caleb, you managed that very, very quickly, so well done. Our second award of the week in Otter class goes to Daniel. Daniel, your team are so pleased that you're engaging in the home learning. Even when Mum's working during the day, you try to complete your learning later on, so well done for using your initiative and finding the right time to learn. It was lovely to see you on Otter's Zoom meeting last week, and yet again you showed what a kind and caring young man you are by offering to help Kitty when we are all back in class. We all miss seeing this wonderful empathy that you show. How fantastic that you were still able to demonstrate it even from a distance. The team of Mrs Moss, Mrs Green and Miss Mexter are very proud of you and want you to keep this up, Daniel, so well done. We look forward to seeing you back very, very soon, hopefully. Moving on now to Fox Cubs. This week's award is presented to Caitlin for your fabulous, imaginative and careful writing and making a special effort to read the writing feedback and improve your pieces of writing each and every day. You also use your magic problem-solving mind to solve very difficult Roman numeral problems. Well done, Caitlin, from Mrs Solomon. Moving to Fox class now, our Year 6s. Ellie, you have been awarded with an Excellence Award this week for your biased newspaper article on the harrowing of the North following the Norman Conquest, which displayed a mature use of language, but also for her unprompted book review on the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. I challenge all of you to try saying that without stuttering. Your award this week comes from Mr Clark and Mrs Smith. Well done, Ellie. Here you can see an example of Ellie's writing on the Inhuman Normans Massacre Millions article. Again, I'd really encourage you to pause the video now and take some time to read through this. Our second award of the week for Fox class goes to Nisha for her newspaper report reflecting bias in the media. Her plan was clear and logical, and you incorporated and used the appropriate features of a newspaper article with bias into her final product. She made a good use of formal and informal language throughout dialogue and clearly enjoyed writing it. Mr Clark and Mrs Smith certainly enjoyed reading it, Nisha, so well done. Here is Nisha's planning on your left and the final finished article on the right. Nisha, a budding career in broadcast journalism for you at some stage, I'm sure. Again, pause the video and take some time to read through Nisha's newspaper article. Okay, a few birthdays to celebrate this week. Rosemary, at the end of this week you have a very special birthday to celebrate, and I'm sure Fox class will already know this well, but Mr Clark had another birthday at the beginning of this week. A very happy birthday to each of you from everybody at Bethersden Primary School. Now, as it's the end of term, we wanted to share with you some figures from this term's Spelling Shed with our leaderboard. The scores for Spelling Shed are made up in two parts. Firstly, for the number of times people have logged on and taken part in challenges, so their completion rate, but also for their number of correct answers, so the score is combined to give an overall total. These figures have made really interesting reading, and we're delighted to announce that our top 10 Spelling Shed contributors this term have been as follows. Thomas in Otter class has come out top of the pile and has certainly been working really hard on his spellings this term, so well done to Thomas. Noticeable really that neither Fox or Fox Cubs are in the top 10. Maybe that's because they're all much better at spelling than I am. Now, TT Rockstars is another platform we've been using regularly over the lockdown period, and we've got a couple of pages with information from our TT Rockstars contributors. So, first of all, our top lifetime earner is Harry, aka Casey Chinook, who has got an enormous score of almost 400,000 points, closely followed by Ellie, who's known as Krista Goldman, with 321,470. The totals for lifetime earnings is based on the number of logins and correct answers. Now, interestingly, our fastest studio speed is with Sid, who is aka Colin Stevens, with an average time of 1.17 seconds to answer each of his questions. Taylor Dean is very closely on your heels though, Sid, with an average time of 1.2 seconds per answer. Now, within each class we want to celebrate the top TT Rockstarer, and here we go, here's our top list. So in Bumblebees, well done to Frankie, with 26,142 points. Harvey in our class has got a huge 171,904. In Dear class, William has scored 166,719 points. Otter class goes to Harry with 387,228 points. Fox Cubs is led by Lois as 119,205, and Ellie again with 321,470. Overall, well done to Harry with the top score there for TT Rockstars. Keep up the practice. Now, I did promise you a very special performance a little later on in the assembly. When we are in school, we always like to celebrate things that we have been doing outside of our school. And when this video landed on our lap the other day, we were delighted to show it on the Otter class drop-in. But we thought it was definitely worth celebrating with the whole school. So sit back and enjoy Caleb playing his piano for us. A huge thank you to Caleb there, and well done. Keep up practicing, Caleb. I'm sure Mr. Butler will be very impressed when you get back to school and continue with your piano lessons. Thank you for sharing that with us. And if anybody has anything else they'd like to share, please do send it in to our email address, and we'd be delighted to share that with people over the coming weeks. Now, last week we set a very special challenge to our children to see who could wow us during the week with the promise of a voucher to spend for a very famous retailer over the coming weeks. And I'm delighted to say we were overwhelmed with the response. The teachers have had an incredibly tricky task in choosing which person would receive the award. A big thank you at this point to Fobs, who have agreed to pay to buy these vouchers, so thank you for that. So our first winner of the week in Bumblebee class goes to Alexis. Alexis, every day you have worked your hardest, even if you found something difficult and the task's challenging. You've never given up, and this week you'll be doing extra activity to support your reading. So the team in Bumblebee class would like to award you with your £10 voucher, Alexis. So well done. Make sure you find something you really want to spend that money on. Our winner for our class goes to Holly. In Miss Hughes' words, you've been so enthusiastic towards your learning, taking part in set tasks as well as setting challenges for yourself. You've shown tremendous creativity, experimenting as you've been looking after your caterpillars. This continued in your science experiment, testing materials for your raincoat. You carried out a fair test, discovering which materials will be best and most appropriate. The video you shared was so lovely to watch, seeing your infectious smile while learning. Thank you so much for your hard work and your dedication. Holly, a big well done to you. I'm sure you'll find something very worthwhile to use your voucher on. Moving into Dear Class, Miss Bennett and Miss Simpson have chosen Joshua. The outstanding award goes this week for a piece of work from Joshua on his amazing volcano project. He's researched volcanoes, created a model, drawn a diagram of the volcano structure and made an information sheet. Joshua also shared a video of his volcano exploding, which was really exciting to watch. Well done, Joshua. Have a think about what you'd like to spend your voucher on, and well done. Moving into Otter Class, Rudy has been given the Wow of the Week for his great determination and dedication to complete work during the lockdown. He's made a great effort with his handwriting, and a little note there from Mrs Moss that he's also been enjoying reading the Harry Potter books, which we all know Mrs Moss is a big fan of. All this in his birthday week, so a big well done to Rudy for your contributions last week. Your voucher is on its way to you as we speak. Fox Cubs Class Award goes to Lois, and Lois deserves it for independently producing quality work for every piece of work set throughout the whole time we have been off. In terms of engagement, Lois, you have set a standard for other children to inspire to, so well done to you and thank you for your dedication. We'll make sure your voucher comes through the post in the next couple of days. In Fox Class, the award goes to Taylor Dean. Taylor, you have consistently produced work above and beyond what has been asked of you, both in the core subjects, your wider learning, and also just for fun. You've also been keen to share your ideas, and you're not afraid to ask for feedback which you act upon. Completely without prompting, Taylor recently wrote an imaginative and moving story of life in lockdown, which she published in the news stream on the Google Class page. Taylor has so much competition for her Year 6 classmates, several of whom are extremely proactive in sharing their ideas and work and exciting isolation activities, but Taylor, you have been the most regular contributor towards the class, so a big well done from your class team there. Enjoy spending your voucher. Now, thank you for joining us for the assembly. Just before we leave, I'd just like to remind everybody to check their parent mails on a daily basis. We have lots of information we need to get across and share with you at this time as we're preparing for the reopening. We also have it for more fun things, such as the regular class drop-ins, where we send out regular invitations to classes. Please, please, please do check those parent mails. It's the only way we can share that information with you at this stage. Over the coming weeks there will be lots more information coming out, which I make no apologies for, as we try to inform you in the best way we can how we're preparing to reopen the school. We do know that each and every family can receive parent mail, but if you are having issues, please do contact us and we'll do our best to help sort those out for you. Finally, there's many ways to stay in touch with us over the lockdown period. Obviously our website contains lots of information that you can dip into if you need to. Our Twitter feed is regularly updated to share learning and exciting things that are taking place for the children of our school. You've obviously found our new Bethersden YouTube channel, where we hope to post many, many more videos over the coming weeks and months. If you do need support at this time, the school phone is not always manned, so the best way to get into contact with us is using your dedicated email address of families@bethersden.kent.sch.uk. We also have an email address if you are concerned about the safety or welfare of any of our families, and that is safeguarding@bethersden.kent.sch.uk. We do read each and every email that comes into us, and we do respond as quickly as possible. Thank you very much for joining us today. Remember, next week is half term, so we wish you a lovely break. There will be no home learning set for the children next week, as we give you a chance to prepare for term 6. Thanks for joining us this morning. Take care, and we will see you very, very soon.